Look, we'll keep looking for other factors, but designer drugs as the MS trigger appears to be the most likely suspect.
Even though we found no drugs in their systems.
But you did find users on this campus, including, so I hear, some of the football players.
It's not a leap that the intake of a drug like GHB was the tipping point.
Yeah, coupled with their family's histories of autoimmune diseases like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma.
2 college football players come down with MS in the same week. The sports magazines and talk shows are going to jump all over this.
I'm more concerned with the university trying to stonewall us.
Any change in Peter Warren's status? There's a lot of useful information locked in his head.
MS strikes every patient differently. In many ways, Gordon's the lucky one. He's functioning.
Yeah, there's nothing that stands out with their opponents in Omaha.
What about the sorority girls?
I certainly know they don't have MS. I started them on a round of antibiotics. Eva and I are heading to the sorority house.
But first, you and I have to deliver some bad news. Look, Mr. Weiner, I don't know how to say this, but our theory is your players developed MS through their ingestion of an illegal drug. Most likely, gamma-hydroxybutyrate, also known as GHB.
GHB, isn't that the date rape drug?
It is. But it's also popular as a party drug.
Oh, hold the phone. That's impossible. We do random drug testing year-round. Did you test them for GHB?
We tested for over a dozen party drugs. Both patients came back negative.
Well, there you go.
However, GHB clears the bloodstream within 4 to 7 hours, so we can't rule that out.
Designer drugs have had a history of causing neurological damage.
Look, maybe something else is causing this illness.
We've considered that. We have tested their food, clothing, dorms, environments where they spend their time. There is no other match.
What about that sick sorority girl? Is she a druggie too?
We believe their cases are a separate issue.
Dr. Durant will continue her analysis of the girls. In the meantime, we've started Kraft and Warren on a treatment of corticosteroids and beta interferons. That should stabilize their symptoms in the short term.
Listen, I oversee 17 different sports teams. Honestly, I don't remember half of them. But I know Gordon Kraft and Peter Warren. They're health freaks. I can vouch that they are absolutely drug-free. Has to be something else causing this illness.
David, look, we've ruled out every other likely designer drug. Regrettable as it is, these boys may have brought it upon themselves.
It's a disaster of all the times.
Homecoming, I know.
Not only that, we were about to initiate the pledge class in a week.
Oh, we talked to all 6 of them. They're very excited.
What's involved with initiation?
There's a candle lighting ceremony and a lot of speeches. They get their pins. You know, brings the girls together.
Do the girls party with the football team?
Well, they come to our invite sometimes. We're more of an academic house than most, but we do throw awesome date parties.
Are the pledges allowed to these parties?
Allowed? They're our honored guests.
When was your last one?
3 weeks ago. Oh, Beverly Hillbillies. We even made our own moonshine.
Were Gordon Kraft or Peter Warren at that party?
Peter Warren? Oh my God, I wish.
I'd like a sample of that moonshine.
You know, I doubt we have any left. Why?
Because we're attempting to get to the root of the infection, and if you served grain alcohol that you guys made, you might have exposed your guests to impurities or poisons.
I think I should speak to our legal counsel at National before going any further.
2 of your pledges are in the hospital.
I know that, and that's sad. But the pledges sign a waiver. We're not responsible if their illness occurred outside of the house.
This isn't about assigning responsibility, it's about saving your friends.
Well, the Delta Theta Zeta sorority is not the pledge's respondent superior. There's no evidence of vicarious liability, nor did we have an affirmative duty to rescue, even if they did become ill on our property.
Let me guess, your dad's an attorney.
No, I'm pre-law.
How do you know it happened outside the house?
Well, I don't, but...
Well, then you don't have a legal leg to stand on.
2 of our associates will be by to take samples. How does it feel to be back?
Frightening.
Wait, the sorority president actually lawyered up?
Tried to, according to Natalie.
Well, there's nothing out of the ordinary at the house. What do you think she's trying to hide?
Who knows with their super secret rituals or whatever.
Dr. Connor?
Mr. Weiner, what can I do for you?
I know it's hard to prove something didn't happen, but I wanted you to have Gordon Kraft and Peter Warren's drug test for the last 2 years. In my bones, I know these boys are drug-free. I wanted you to know it in case you had to write some kind of report. I wouldn't want any other story going public.
Yeah, every sports agent in the country's sniffing around. Kraft's expected to be a low first-round draft pick.
If designer drugs aren't the commonality, what are these 2 guys doing or in contact with that's triggering an autoimmune reaction?
I'll go back over their dorm rooms and lockers. I may have missed something.
Thank you. You have a rare disease. It's called malignant multiple sclerosis. Something's causing your body to attack itself.
How'd it happen?
We don't know. We're doing everything we can to discover what the cause is.
Will finding out make me get better?
It'll prevent other people from getting ill.
What about football? Will I be able to play again?
As your doctor, I'd be lying if I said yeah.
What do you need from me?
Honesty. You're in college. You don't drink anything stronger than water?
But you don't believe me? I'm a nutrition major. I know what's good for me. No processed food. No caffeine. No sodas. Why you sweating me, man?
Because we ran into a wall, and I don't like losing.
What do you want me to tell you?
You know what? It's time we visit Peter.
You've been in a coma for 2 days. We wanted you stabilized before you saw him.
But he'll be okay, right? He'll come out of it?
Gordon, if there's something you haven't told me, now would be the time. To save your friend.
We have our own personal trainer, Peter and me. University, they don't allow it. But he was helping us bulk up fast.
How?
Bodybuilding supplements, creatine, hydroxydrine, methyl D. He said that that was all natural, that they was just supposed to make us bigger and stronger.
Something wrong?
Amy Jenkins has strep throat.
I've had strep before. I didn't wind up in an ICU.
In severe cases, strep can lead to Sydenham's chorea, which causes jerky movements. Jim Henson, the Muppets guy, died from complications following strep.
At least I didn't know it was so serious.
The boy's personal trainer has a sketchy record. From New Jersey to Ohio, and now in Nebraska. He's been reported to have smuggled roids from Mexico and dispensed them to his clients under the table.
Steroids alone can't cause MS. But Mexican steroids are often adulterated with foreign agents, and boosters, herbs, chemical supplements. Any one of them can set off an autoimmune response.
I found 2 of these in Gordon's bathroom wedged behind his sink. Might have rolled away from him while they were on the counter. No labeling.
Look like aspirin.
I'll have them analyzed.
So how'd they hook up with this trainer?
A referral by a one David Weiner.
Mexican steroids? That's the best theory you can come up with?
We know about the personal trainer you hooked them up with, Mr. Weiner. He had your boys on steroids without them knowing it.
That's ridiculous. We do urine tests.
There's ways around those.
Got nothing more to say to you guys.
Look. You're gonna have to tell me the truth. Tell me before the NCAA finds out.
I had nothing but the best interest of those guys in mind.
I'm sure you did. But right now, those 2 boys are sitting in the hospital. Dave, what is it?
It's a grand mal. Hold on. Hold on. Found in Gordon's room, just an herbal weight gainer. Ineffective and harmless.
You guys knew hiring a trainer was against the rules. At least the trainer wasn't steroid doping them.
Weiner's clean for steroids, so are Gordon and Peter.
So GHB and steroids are off the table as trigger agents. With Weiner's MS diagnosed, containment is broken, we still don't have any commonality between him and the other football players.
I have the team season schedule. Prior to the Omaha away game, they played a scrimmage in Norfolk, Nebraska.
So let's start in Norfolk, work our way backwards. Check all the hospitals in Norfolk, see if there are any seizure or spasm cases, and see if any of the other players on the opposing teams are sick.
I'm on it. Oh, Steven, there are a lot of rumors floating around campus. Everything from a killer flu to a new strain of mono, even spiked erectile function pills. The university's starting to get cancellations for homecoming.
Less alumni, less money.
They're worried that we're going to issue a health alert for the weekend.
That may not be a bad idea.
You ready to make that call?
That was Dr. Salgado. 4 more Delta Theta Zeta girls were admitted with spasms.
4 more. See if there's strep cases. Start them on antibiotics.
It was weird. We were all sitting around the TV room watching that gay makeover show, and then all of a sudden I just started shaking. I felt woozy, like I was gonna faint.
Me too. It happened a little later, though. But it was different. It felt like I was boiling up inside.
How much contact do you have with the other sick girls?
Total? They are pledge sisters.
Can we be with them?
They're on a different floor.
Tell them we're here for them. Delta Theta Zeta forever.
Conversion reaction?
We know the first 2 girls genuinely have strep throat. There are signs of strep in 2 of the 4 new girls. But from what I can tell, the remaining 2 are perfectly healthy, except for the spasms.
Wait a minute, you think subconsciously some of them want to be sick?
From what I'm learning about group socialization in sororities, it makes total sense. It's hive mentality. The girls want so badly to be like their pledge sisters that their minds are forcing their bodies to react.
Sympathetic hysteria. Sort of what happened to the girls during the Salem witch trials.
And in Los Angeles in the 30s, nurses treating polio patients came down with the symptoms themselves.
Well, until it was proved to be mass hysteria.
But something's not adding up. I've treated the 4 girls with strep, but they are not getting significantly better.
You think it's something other than strep?
Possibly. That's why I'm ordering a comprehensive blood work on all 6.
Excellent.
How's David Weiner?
Won't be able to talk to him for a few hours.
Dr. Connor, you should see this. She was suiting up for practice when it started. The coach was aware of the symptoms and rushed her here. Her name is Monica Eames. She's pre-med and volunteers here at the hospital. I know her.
Is she in a sorority?
No.
Any social commonalities with the football players?
Not that I know of.
Test her for MS. If she tests positive, she doesn't fit any established pattern of the illness, except she plays sports.
Doesn't help matters, does it?
Actually, it does. We find out what's making her ill, we'll be able to isolate what all the other patients have in common. The hockey player tested positive for MS. Whatever's causing this disease is right here on this campus.
So the commonality is athletes.
No, the commonality is athletics. David Weiner was the outlier for a different reason. He's in the sports world, but he doesn't play.
2 football players, 1 female hockey player, and an out-of-shape athletic director. What do they have in common?
Whatever the commonality, we missed it, or we're led away from it. Patients confuse events, or they tell us things that we think we want to hear.
You know those barcode key cards we have at NIH? They track our movement throughout the facility, name, date, and time. I've seen students here with the same cards.
Yeah, David Weiner had one too.
When I was in med school, we used to buy our meals with a key card.
Which means we could trace patients to the dining hall they ate in, what they ordered and when.
Well, that's excellent. Hey, but there's going to be privacy concerns in getting access to these records.
I'll make sure there aren't any.
I think I've got something. The expanded blood work I ran on the sorority girls came back positive for mercury poisoning. For all 6 of them.
Is this gonna take long?
That depends on you. Mercury poisoning is very serious business.
I don't know where mercury could have come from. Our house isn't like the rat trap houses at the other end of the row. We had the entire building renovated just 3 years ago.
It's pretty. How many actives do you have?
32.
How come none of them became ill?
You're the doctor, you tell me.
Small chapter.
Oh, we're very selective. We only accept 7 pledges a year.
There are only 6 girls in this photo, and we only spoke with 6.
We had 7. 1 backed out.
Where is she?
In the dorms, where she belongs.
Is she sick?
I wouldn't know. Once a candidate depledges, we sever contact.
Nice. Did she walk on her own?
Yes. But the writing was on the wall, her attitude. She thought she was better than us sisters.
Would you happen to remember her name?
Rebecca Stevens. I suppose you want her number, too.